going on, everybody? It's almost Christmas time, and it's your girl Bird from Bird and the Tree podcast.
And what it is, what it do, it's your boy Tree from Bird in the Tree podcast. And like you
And
said,
today,
uh-huh. What's up?
special day, y'all know Tree has been in the Christmas spirit since January.
You already know. You already know.
so,
I'm so excited.
yeah, Christmas is in a couple of days, and I'm kind of excited. But what we realize is that, you know what, it's 2020, it's still COVID. And so some of y'all are getting to do a redo of your Thanksgiving dinner. Because for some of y'all, that was the first time that you were having to cook for yourself and for your family. So, you know, things might not have gone quite right. They might have gone astray. You might have tried to champion some things that you weren't ready for. You know, burnt almost, you know, smoked the kitchen out trying to make whatever it was. So Christmas is like your redo. So to help you guys out, we have a special guest today, Toya D. She is actually getting ready to start some live streaming of her own, making her cooking show, giving you guys tips and tricks. So we decided to snatch her on up before she gets too busy, so she can come on here and give you guys some tips and tricks, some do's and don't. Wash your hands Wednesday before you start going in the kitchen, and some ideas on kind of how to make your redo a little bit more successful, so nobody gets sick when you got to cook this holiday season.
That's facts. That's facts. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring her on in so we can get this thing started.
Let's bring in Toya D.
There she go.
She coming in. We gotta make sure.
Okay.
There we go.
Audio is together. Okay, Toya D. So I explained to the audience, to the crowd, the listeners, how, you know, we understand it's still COVID and people aren't traveling. So, you know, some people had to cook for their first time for their family, you know, Thanksgiving. So Christmas, because it's still COVID, you know, it's some of their redo, right? Second chance. They get a second chance. So, you know, some of them were a little ambitious, try to cook things they never cooked before, about to burn the kitchen down, smoking people out, because they weren't equipped. So we let them know that you on the show today to kind of give them some tips and some tricks, some do's and don't. Wash your hands Wednesday. Don't start cooking without washing your hands or the vegetables, okay? And then, you know, maybe give them you know, some quick, some easy, you know, fail safe meals that they can go ahead and try again with the family, so they don't make nobody sick on Christmas, okay? I mean, New Year's, you know, everybody has a resolution they want to lose weight, but I don't think that you want to lose weight because you go into the bathroom for some food that you ate New Year's or for Christmas. Right. I could be wrong. I'm just saying that's not the way I would prefer to lose weight. So, but you know. So without further ado, if you want to introduce yourself and tell the people what you got going on, it's all on you.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Toya, before you come over here. Hey, hold on. Hey, Toya, is it aluminum foil or is it aluminum foil?
It's neither. It's tinfoil. It's neither.
Get some of that tinfoil.
Get some of that tinfoil out that drawer. That's what you get. It ain't neither.
Oh yeah, because you know everybody don't have the box that say aluminum on it. Okay, hey, some of us got that off-brand that say foil.
Just foil.
Right, get you some of that rose wrap.
Right. Well, thank you guys for having me on the show. I highly appreciate the podcast invitation. You guys, my name is ToyaDanni. Hi, everybody. I am a content creator on Twitch. I'm getting into doing my cooking. I do a lot of cooking, because I like to eat. So what better way to do what you love?
Thanks.
Gain a little bit of weight, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with that because it's healthy.
Big girls, whoop whoop.
That's right. Come on with the big girls, come on with it. But you know how it is. But yeah, to move right on into things. I like to cook. I like watching, the Food Networks and stuff like that. And when I cook, I literally set it out like I'm on the show. I have my kids sitting at the island, and I'm just go ahead and pretending. I'm like, hey, okay, everybody, thank you for coming to my show. Uh, welcome, welcome, and welcome. And they're just like, yay, in the background. The best audience ever.
Sharon.
But yeah, it's definitely something I like to do. But for me, when I would watch these shows and, you know, just take them in, I would always notice that a lot of them don't wash their hands. They don't show washing their hands.
Yeah.
I need to see that. I
Right.
need to see a little bit of lavar los manos. That washing your hands.
Okay.
Come on
Bring
now.
it through for the San Antonio crew.
Hey, hey now, if you live here, you gotta learn something. Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I just feel like washing your hands, wash it. And I'm sorry if the spinach says pre-washed, if the salad says pre-washed, I don't trust that.
Oh no. Oh no.
Listen, that's exactly what I was getting ready to ask you, because some people believe that when they get the meat from the store, that like they can just go from the meat package straight to the pan. Oh no.
Mm-mm.
You gotta
Rinse
wash
that
yourself
meat
off.
off.
Rinse it off.
Yeah.
Rinse it off, please.
Look, some people you can't tell to wash the meat because they up there putting soap and all kinds of stuff
I've
in
seen
there.
that.
Rinse it off.
Are you hold on. You saying rinse it off or rinse it off?
Rinse it.
You know what?
Rin-
The way my
rinse-
country is set
Like
up.
the
Okay.
rinse,
Okay.
rinse it off. Ain't no rinse. Don't nobody know what that means. Rinse it off.
Hey, yo, that's so funny though. Hey, that's so funny how we change up words, like for real. And we good with that stuff too. Cause I know my folks back in the day, they would be like, not refrigerator, but the Frigidaire.
The Frigidaire.
Not, yeah, the
That was the
Frigidaire.
only brand that they had for a while, the Frigidaire. So that's where that came from. Or the ice box, right? Because that's really the ice box
Icebox,
they had
yeah.
before Frigidaire even came out with a refrigerator.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, listen, that's real talk.
Okay, so step number 1, we washing our hands. Step number 2, you washing the produce, you washing the meat, whatever you're gonna prepare. Everything needs to be rinsed off. Okay,
Rinsed off.
Right.
let's keep it going.
And when I prepare my food, especially if it's raw, anything raw meat of any kind, I go ahead and make a little sink full of some hot bleach soap water. Like you said before, we ain't trying to make nobody sick, because nobody gonna come back and eat nothing at your house. Okay. Nothing. They're not coming back. So yeah, definitely. Just a lot of people that I'm sorry, I can't do it. I don't know how people have animals. You know how they like to have the cats and stuff that be walking on the countertop.
Oh yeah, and that green bean casserole.
Yeah, we don't. You know what? I don't know why you had to bring up green bean casserole, but we're not gonna go there.
We're not gonna do that.
With cross contamination, like that is so important. So I mean, I was a catering manager in one of my past lives. So Serve Safe Qualified is what I had to be. So one of the things they teach you about is cross contamination, and people don't understand. You can get really, really sick if you're cooking chicken, and chicken is one of those that really carry. So there's a certain thing called the danger zone, right? So between 40 and 140. So if you have food that's supposed to be cold, it should stay under 40 degrees. If you have food that is supposed to be hot, then it should stay at 140, right? So anything between 40 degrees and 140 degrees is called the danger zone, because that's where bacteria forms. So if you have chicken just sitting out on the counter and it's just sitting out, and then you get ready to make a salad and you go and you cut your lettuce up on that same block that you just put that chicken on, baby, that is a recipe for disaster.
Listen,
That's salmonella's poison.
Yeah,
And
salmonella, but I think what people
salmonella,
also fail to understand is potatoes. So people just think that potatoes are innocent because it's a vegetable, and typically most vegetables you can't eat raw, like broccoli or a carrot. But potatoes carry botulism.
they harbor the bacteria and the germ.
They do. And if you cut them potatoes up there again and use that same little cutting board for your salad that you're not gonna cook, you might have some problems on your hands. So
That's why my stomach be too up.
It ain't gonna be no mite. you gonna lose that weight you talking about. You gonna lose it.
Yeah, my stomach be toe up half of the time. I see now, because I should be putting everything right on the same thing. Just slide that thing on over. Slide that thing
slide that thing right on over. Salmonella,
botulism,
E. coli.
bacteria.
Just carry it right.
Lighten that bathroom all up. All right, that makes sense now. Then okay. I got you. I'm listening. I'm taking notes.
The more you know.
Please let me see your pen and paper. Write it down, because I'm concerned.
I know. I'm concerned too. I'm a little bit worried.
So now, when you prepare your food, are you the type of person that, like, if you have like vegetables or whatever, do you go ahead and chop up everything, like go ahead and get everything that you need that be cut, diced, whatever, chopped up, so then all you have to do is like go through the cooking process? Or do you kind of cook things in, like, you know, like you chop it up in the middle of it while you wait for something else? How do you do your prep?
I do just that. I do like to prep depending on time. Like if I don't have time, like if it's one of them long, difficult recipes, I'm like, let me go ahead and chop this up, get this slid over here, wash this off, wrench this off, go ahead and dice this up, put it in a little, and I am that type of person who likes to put all my stuff in different containers, different bowls, just so I can have it together, so I could just go ahead and pick it up and move with it. Just go ahead and put this in here, saute that, have the butter already on the saute or already on the soft and nearly melted, you know, just stuff like that. So I like to, I like to have it ready to go, especially if I'm doing it in front of people. You know, my children, they be like, "Ooh, mama, you
like the people, the children."
you doing that.
Well, so one of the things we want y'all to stop doing in 2021 though is posting all your food. Because listen, like, take a picture and send it to somebody in your family first and be like, "What's this look like?" before you go and post it on the internet, because some of y'all be posting stuff that look like. There's a show on Netflix called Nailed It. If you have not watched that show, I highly
get into it.
Because some of y'all meals, like, it be like, this is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looks like, and it's nothing like what you believe in your mind. Now, it may taste really good, and that's great. But I'm telling y'all, in 2021, I want y'all to stop taking them photos of your pictures and posting it on the internet for everybody to see, because some of y'all food be looking real nasty. And
that is true. That is true.
Hey, speaking of nasty, I know y'all seen those memes. Well, I guess, you consider it a meme, where it'd be like, this is why my man ain't going nowhere. And they got like a spread laid out. The chicken is like half cooked. Like you know what I'm saying? The stuff looks dry.
I can't go nowhere, girl, because he's going to be dead.
Exactly. I'm like, he ain't going nowhere. That dude gonna be on the toilet. His stomach gonna be lit if he eat that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. And I guess they be serious, because this is a real thing. And I'm like, yeah, you think he ain't going nowhere? That dude definitely over there cheating.
He's going right down the street to go get some food from a restaurant, because hopefully he don't eat that.
Absolutely. But before, when you guys were talking about how, presentation is something I take that well over the top, because I feel like when people are looking at your food, whether you post it on social media or if you're even just showing your family, you want them to eat it with their eyes first. Like, literally, if it looks delicious, that'll make your mouth water, which in turn will make you want to eat it. So I feel like if you putting it on that paper plate, now, first of all, let me go ahead and stop right there. I don't have a problem with putting food on paper plate, but when I present my food, it's going to be on the real dinnerware, okay? It's that first plate, which is usually my husband's, that's the one I set up. And I set that up, and I got the fresh, clean paper towel, and I'm wiping that juice off the edge. Like them oxtails, you got to wipe that extra sauce off them around the rim.
Yeah, countries, I don't know what. Yep, makes sense.
So you definitely have to eat with your eyes first. Like, again, I have nothing against paper plates, but I do want it to look presentable. I want it to look delicious, and that's just something that I like to take time and pride in, just for myself personally. So
that makes sense. Now, a question for you. So, okay, cool. Now you're cooking all this food. Now, by the time you finish cooking, are you still hungry, or are you kind of like, you know what, I done cooked this now, I'm not even ready. Like, I don't even want to eat now because I didn't, did all this.
Yeah, my grandma used to say, "You getting full off the fumes." That's
Mm,
so when I cook, I'm usually like the last one to eat or the last one to make a plate because I'm like, all
hmm.
right, I'm gonna
Right.
just watch them eat, see if they like it. What y'all
Yeah.
think? And I'm like this. What
Yep.
Yeah. That's me. You taste your food. You better taste your food.
listen,
If you cooking and you ain't tasting your own food, I got issues with that too. Okay.
what
I
this
have issues.
tastes like? I don't know.
I don't. Yeah,
Why?
so I'm not eating that. I'm normally the last person to eat because I'll fix my kids and and then I'll sit down and then I'll sit down and eat. But yeah, normally I'm the last one to eat. But most of the time, depending on the scale of the meal, sometimes I am full by the time it's time for me to eat because I done spent so much time like preparing and so sometimes too I'll try to eat a little bit of something before I start cooking anyway, just so I'm not like famished trying to hurry up and rush through the meal because
Hmm.
it does take time. But for some of y'all that are kind of new to cooking and first, starting out, I do recommend some of those prep meals. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, specific ones. I do have specific ones in mind because they are not all created equal. Let me just say that.
Right.
Hmm.
But some of the prep meals do a really, really good job of, well, first of all, mostly all of them give you everything that you need to cook the meal, maybe minus salt and pepper. So as long as you have salt and pepper in your kitchen, for the most part, they give you all that you need to cook a basic meal.
Hmm.
Some of them go the extra step and they actually give you like the beef concentrate, the the stuff that
Yep.
give you the flavor. And
Mhm.
there's some of the other ones that they'll give you some garlic salt, but if you don't have nothing else in your kitchen to make that taste like something, it's gonna be really, really bland.
You need to balance.
But from a presentation perspective and from a not having to think about what things need to go together and what meal planning, some of
Hmm.
those prep meals I would say would be really, really good for people starting out. Like I mean, I've been cooking for a long time, but I like to order the prep meals because sometimes I don't like to think about grocery shopping or think about like what meats I need to get and what vegetables I need to get or whatever. So sometimes it's just easy for me to pick my meals the week before and they send them. Now they send everything raw, so you still gotta know how to cook the food. Okay,
Yeah.
that part they don't tell you, but they give a recipe. But almost 9 times out of 10, even with the recipe they give me, I'm always adding something extra to make it taste like what I want it to taste like, versus whatever they're playing it was supposed
Right.
to taste like or whatever. But I do
Exactly.
recommend those meal preps for people who maybe not sure, like, okay, I don't know what a complete meal is supposed to
Mhm.
look like. That's at least a beginner, but again, you still gotta know how to cook the meat. And
Speaking of, I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad you brought that up, Bird. Say, look, fellas, I got a little, what I'm saying, little trick for y'all. So this is what you need to do. Like she said, there's some companies out here that'll set y'all up perfectly. Okay, we know COVID is still out there right now. COVID is on the go. It's on the loose. So when you get your little honey, what I'm saying, bring them over to the crib. All right, listen now. Hit up one of these companies. Can't say which one you need to hit up, but you want to hit up one of these companies, get them to ship you the stuff. Everything is perfectly laid out for you. They got all the meats, all the greens, all the vegetables, all that good stuff right there for you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and cook it up. You know what I'm saying? When she come over there, she can be like, oh, you can cook like that? You be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, girl? I know what I'm doing in this kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So look, you do that. She gonna be impressed. You know what I'm saying? And then, later on, you get a little dessert. You know what I'm talking about?
Get a little that dessert. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
meanwhile,
know.
I'm talking about older nuts.
Right. Look, but like with the complete meals, like that's a very good way to start it off. That's a very
Right.
good way. Like if I'm having a lazy day myself, I'm just like, you know what? I don't feel like doing all the rigmarole. I don't feel like going through the whole thing. Like I'll go to like our store and I'll get like their little pre-made meals. Yes, their pre-made meals have like a piece of steak, some asparagus and potatoes, or it has the food groups on there.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, me being me, I'm like, I'm gonna take all that stuff out, season it good, get it nice and seasoned, sear, bake a
Mm-hmm.
little bit,
Yeah,
throw some olive oil in this, put some real garlic on that. That's just, it like literally just add a little bit of something, something.
a little something. Like, I mean, they always talk about with the green beans. Like I have grown to prefer fresh green beans over canned green beans. Because it takes a while, because if you don't know how, it takes a minute to really learn how to cook fresh green beans to where they're tender enough, and they have the flavor. Whereas when you get canned green beans, they've already steamed them, they've already infused them with salt and all that stuff or whatever. But I've grown to love fresh green beans, and but in the pre-cooked meals, they're like, oh, just put a little salt and pepper. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you take fresh green beans and you only put a little bit of salt and pepper, baby, I don't know what you gonna have, but it's gonna taste like the kids baby food green beans. Okay, I always cook my green beans in bacon fat. Always. I have always.
Ain't no other way.
Ain't no other way. I've always cooked them in bacon fat. And then for people who don't like bacon, I will tell you, if you do, or people who don't eat pork, if you use a chicken bouillon cube or the chicken granulates, that's also another way to season them, or smoked turkey necks, because the smoked turkey neck kind of has that flavor of beef or like a ham hock. And so that will also help to kind of bring out the flavor, or add that kind of just southern flavor to it, to where it's not just some old bland green beans. So even fresh green beans can still, taste like something your granny cooked back in the day. But there's variations. But I always add. Now, of course, none of the recipes say to add no bacon grease, but that's okay, because I know that I need to do that.
Right. That's just something the ancestors, that's just something you feel it. But to piggyback off the green beans though, like when I do my green beans, like I blanch them. I just, sometimes you just got to blanch them. And for those of you who don't know what blanching is, that's when you first you wash them off, and then you put them, you ranch them, and you put them in boiling water, literally for like 2 minutes. Like you just give them a little and then you just pour them out on some put them in some ice. I'll give them an ice bath at that point. And then to stop the cook process, so that when I do saute them, put them back in the saute pan with my bacon fat and my sauteed onions and my garlic, and saute that, and just it allows for the flavors to adhere to the green bean. Now a lot of people are just like salt and pepper.
Let me tell you, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
That ain't gonna do it.
And I use fresh garlic, and I still use garlic powder, and I use fresh garlic, if I don't use onions, I'll use shallots. Shallots. But I still use like onion powder and garlic powder, like together. Like it's just, I don't know. That's just I watch my grandma. But I will say, for a long time, I could not figure out how my grandmother got her green beans to the consistency. And so I was like, what is she doing? Well, I realized that all this time she had been sauteing her green beans. Like, I thought that she was boiling them or something. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't. But she would just happen to cook green beans at my mom's house, and I was like, let me see what she can do. I was like, she didn't tell me all the process. So since that day, and that was probably had to be close to 10 years ago. So since that day, that's when I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Now I'm gonna do that. But blanching your green beans first helps them to kind of like pre-cook, so that while you're sauteing and you don't burn your green beans trying to get them to that softer, kind of texture.
Right. This is so amazing, because like I think a lot of people are afraid to ask people how to, how you cook that. I haven't come across anybody who's afraid to ask me anything, but I just, some people just it might be a pride thing, or just like, because some, like, our generations there's a difference. Like, everybody's grandmother didn't teach them, or they don't have like that senior family member that they can call up every holiday and be like, hey, what you putting that stuff now? So there's not that thing. And something else you had touched on presentation earlier. Now I am also, as I said before, I am a part of those many Facebook groups that are showing their food and their presentation and stuff. When you guys out there in all the internet web lands, and you're putting your food on the internet webs, let's make it balanced, y'all. Let's make it balanced, especially just all of our people, y'all. Let's make it balanced, okay? You're not gonna have rice, mashed potatoes. You can't have rice, mashed potatoes, and like one
Meat
protein.
potatoes.
You can't.
Just meat potatoes. All I need.
No, get you some color. Get you a vegetable, and
Absolutely.
like don't cook all the crunch, every last one of the crunches out of the vegetable. Don't do that,
You gotta have a
y'all.
little crunch in there.
I mean, just so you know it's a vegetable and not mashed
Right.
potatoes. I mean,
Right.
mashed potatoes are a vegetable. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's a little line. But just you guys, everything shouldn't be. And one of the best bits of advice that I got is everything that is white
Mhm.
is not good for you. Everything that is white in color is not good for you.
Mhm.
Like that goes with flour, mashed potatoes, rice, salt, sugar. It goes all the way down a huge list of things. That's not good for you. So you try to use less of those things.
Correct.
So
Well, I use golden yellow potatoes.
hey, ain't nothing wrong with them russets. You better get in with them russets now. They yellow. But yeah, like a lot of things. So we just I try to critique our meals a little bit so that, I'm not perfect, so I don't always cook, because usually when I cook it's throwing down. And I can't be cooking like that every day.
Okay.
We're gonna be out here with the diabetes. Okay.
Hey,
But today I did cook.
Yeah.
So I had I wish I would have took a picture of my plate. My husband probably did, but I had a really balanced. We did so we did a bacon and apple butter pork chop, and then I had macaroni and cheese, green beans, and rice. I think is what I had. But so there was a little color. There was some orange, some green, some white, and I had the protein. So I mean, we did have three starches, technically. But from a color perspective, it looks varied. But it was really, really good. Now, again, it was one of the meal preps, so I had to add a lot, because this particular company that I switched to, their food is like really, really bland. So I had to really, I had to add a lot. So it ended up taking me longer to cook the meal than what the recipe said, because there was no way I was gonna feed my family with. The first mistake was when they told me to put bell peppers in my green beans. That wasn't happening. We wasn't doing that. That's not happening. That bell pepper went right in the refrigerator. I cooked that on another day, taco day. Okay, boom. Okay, we did it on taco day or something. But we not, for
not
day.
here.
But we not. That don't go in green. Everything don't go. That don't go in. Not my green beans. Okay, that don't go in green beans. But it was a really good. I was a little skeptical about the jam. So the jam is you do shallots. It was shallots. It was apple butter, and I used the grease from the pork chop that I had cooked. So they said olive oil, but olive oil changes the flavor a little bit. So it just depends on. It's a real strong flavor, in my opinion, for olive oil. So just if that's the flavor you're going for, that's fine. But sometimes I would rather use like the bacon grease versus the olive oil, just because of the taste that I'm trying to go for. But but so I was a little skeptical about it, but actually with the bacon, the onion, I'm gonna stop saying shallot. I'll say onions, red onions. Okay, that's basically what just little baby onions.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the bacon, the onions, and then the apple butter. It was actually really, and it's a little bit of salt. It was actually really, really good on top of the pork chops. Like it was actually really good. But yeah, so that was my meal. The kids, now when I cook for the kids, I don't put that. I always cook that to the side, because my kids aren't big on sauces. So they just ate the pork chops, the rice, the green beans. And so Eddie and I are the ones that normally kind of eat all the saucy stuff. That's not it. But then with my kids, the issue is one of my kids really likes green beans, and the other one of my kids really likes broccoli. And so I try to make sure there's something green in our meals, most days. But gosh, that is just so much additional work, because now I gotta cook like, 2 different vegetables. So
Separate
today,
for everybody.
okay, so today we only had green beans. He had broccoli yesterday, so I felt okay that because we cooked yesterday also. So I felt okay. He had broccoli at least one day this week.
Right.
But yeah, so again, those meals, those are my lazy days where I just don't feel like thinking about going to the grocery store and like, oh, what meat, what vegetables, or whatever. It's definitely a good, just good for it. Now, it's not good necessarily for meal prep from the standpoint of having leftovers, unless you are one person and you get a meal for 4 people. So if you're just one person by yourself, and then you get a 4-person meal, then yes, you can cook, 4 servings. But if you have 4 people and you get a 4 meal, for the most part, it is to the T. Like, you might have a little bit of leftover vegetables if somebody didn't eat their portion of the vegetable, but with the meat, everybody get 1 pork chop. Everybody get 1 piece of fish. Everybody get, like, there's no leftovers. There's no, it don't work like that. So
See, I cook like it's like 7 people that live here, and it's not. It's only 4. I need to stop. I need to work on that, because like my husband is really huge on leftovers, and like he would push that to the fact, like, y'all need to eat leftovers. And then my oldest started eating leftovers for breakfast, and it was like, wait a minute, we can't be having you eat. It's cereal in there. We can't be having you eat pork chops and macaroni and cheese and collard.
That's the best breakfast.
That's good breakfast there.
Yo, that is the best breakfast. I can't tell you how many times I done rolled to work with a piece of pork chop in a Ziploc bag.
Hey, listen, hold on.
In between 2 white, yep.
Get it.
Yep. Put some hot sauce on that.
For people who have issues also trying to understand how long to cook meat or whatever, I'm gonna tell you another good trick is to just use the pressure cooker. Listen, well, and we'll come up with that trick again. We'll give them that in.
We'll give them that one. All right.
So the pressure cooker, and the reason why I love the pressure cooker is because it doesn't burn the meat. So I can cook chicken, I can cook pork chops, and when I tell you falling apart to where like it could be pulled chicken or pulled pork, or whatever. Like, I cooked some pork chops for my father-in-law, and he put that thing on a bread, and he getting old, so his teeth don't work that well. But anyway, so he was biting into it, and it was just melting. And he was like, shut up, Eddie. And it was melting. And he was like, you cook this in the pressure cooker? And I was like, yes. So you can cook meat for a while, but it doesn't dry it out. And it does not burn. And I know some people are scared of I was scared of the pressure cooker that my grandparents had back in the day, the one that don't have no timer on it, and you got the little lever, and those were scary. But the new ones that they have, the electric pressure cookers that they have a little setting, and it'll let you know when it's done. You can put the meat and how well you want the meat done. And I'm telling y'all, that is one of the best investments that I have ever bought, is because I can, like, man, you talking about set it and forget it? I can put a whole meal in that pressure cooker and go on about my day.
Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My Instapot. When I got my Instapot, listen, I said, let me go ahead and try these ribs. Oh, they say I can put ribs in here. I put a whole rack of ribs in there, lined them around, circular like, with the little rack on the bottom. You know what? I don't even know why I did that, because when I was trying to get them out, just bones was slipping out. I'm trying to get the tongue, slide them out, slipping out. But I use my Instapot for like my oxtails. Listen, I use my Instapot for my collard greens. I don't have to cook my collard greens for 4 to 6 hours no more.
Right.
45 minutes, 45 minutes. You hear me? With the smoked turkey leg, just lay it on top of there, right nice like that, like so. Close that lid, and you just beautiful.
The best thing ever.
Make sure you season it though. I don't season it.
Make sure you season.
No, just throw it in there. No, you better season it.
No, we saying this for the people, for the viewers.
Okay, you better season it. But I will tell you one thing about that pressure cooker though. It only takes a little bit, because you're not the seasons are not like evaporating into the air like it would be like when you're cooking in a pot. Like, everything stays
just exposed to the elements.
So a little bit goes a long way. Like, it infuses in there. The only way that it won't do that is if you add like too much water. And that's another thing that you need to think about if you're trying to make gravy, or or if you are seasoning. That's one thing to note, is that especially if you're cooking something like chicken, chicken for the most part makes its own water. So you only need just enough water in the pot to cover the chicken, because otherwise you won't have the soup if you pour too much, because again, it's not like cooking on top of the stove where a lot of that cooks out. It holds everything in there,
which makes it tender.
Honey.
Listen,
Tender.
look, it's so easy to use that my husband uses it. He'll put them chicken thighs in there with the cream of chicken and the cream of mushroom, and make some rice on the side. We throw some broccoli bits in there.
Okay.
Listen, and that's it.
So so that's another tip for y'all.
That's a simple one.
Set it and forget it. Okay, and there's a bunch of different product brands out there. I don't have the Instapot brand. I think I have Power XL or whatever. One of them late night infomercials. You know how
they all do the same thing. They all do.
When I was pregnant, okay, like, oh, I need that. So okay. But I'm telling you, they have, you can make rice in the pots. I mean, you can make soup, you can can if you're a canning person, but primarily I use it for those tough meats that may take a long time. You know, like London broiling there. Whew, boy, let me tell you.
Let me get my beef together.
Hey, speaking of, fellas, I got another tip for y'all.
Here we go.
Hey, look, you got a little honeydew coming over to the crib. You know, everybody loves chicken. All right. So look, get you an air fryer. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get that chicken laid out. Make sure you wash it, rinse it off. Go ahead and throw you some seasonings on it. You can get some little seasonings from, you know what I'm saying, the store. You can go to the little local store, get you some seasonings, just throw some stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Throw it in that air fryer. I usually put mine like on 375 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And you can just watch it in there and it'll cook. That thing be nice and crisp. You bring that thing on out, and then look, get you some sauces. Take it out, put it in a bowl, put the sauces on it. You know what I'm saying? Get that thing right nice and sauced up. And then get you some asparagus. Wash them off. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you cut the ends off. Wash them off. And then what you want to do, drizzle a little bit of olive oil on it. Throw some seasonings on it. Throw it in the air fryer. Man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, when you finish, you can get all the dessert you want. You know what I'm talking about?
You better tell him.
He on this dessert.
I know.
Hey,
Somebody gonna
I'm letting my fellas know. You know what I'm saying? 2021 is coming. Yes, indeed.
Look, I still don't know.
Gonna be some summer babies.
I still don't know. Is it safe to have babies? Like, I'm
okay, listen, I don't know.
Okay.
Girl. I don't know. Okay. But I'm gonna tell y'all seasoning. So from seasoning, I have a favorite season, and when I tell y'all this season makes everything pop, like, oh my God. So I got it from Yankee Candle. Yes, Yankee Candle. So it is it's called Caribbean Jerk Season, and it comes in like a little pouch. Eddie, can you get that pouch for me? It comes in like a little pouch, but it's the Caribbean Jerk Season. When I tell y'all, I put that thing on some chicken, and it's not really spicy. And a little bit, honestly, a little bit goes such a long way. But also, I take a little bit of that salt and a little bit of that season and mix it in, like when I'm making barbecue sauce, because it's just something about all those seasons that's in there together. And then when you get your barbecue sauce and you put that in there, then you add a little bit more ketchup and a little bit more honey, and sugar, you get your barbecue sauce together. I'm telling y'all, this season sets everything off. So even if you're not sure, like, man, I'm cooking chicken or I'm cooking pork chop, and I don't know. I mean, I know I need something more than salt and pepper, but I don't know like what other things I can, put on there to make it good or whatever. Thanks, my stagehand. He brings him. This is the truth.
That look good.
I'm telling you the truth. Okay, it's not cheap. I mean, this little pouch is $8, but you don't need a lot though. You see, I've had this now for I guess about a year, and so as you can see, I still got a little bit left. It only takes I'm telling you, like a little
pinch
shake,
do you
just a pinch of do you, but it is so good. And so if you don't have what they call their flagship stores, so Yankee Candle has flagship stores where it look like a mall. And so they have like their normal part where it has the candles, and they have a little part where the kids can do the wax hands, and then they have like their toy store, and then they have like their little home store where they sell like all of their pots and their seasons and different meal kits and stuff like that. So even if you don't have a flagship store near you, you can order online. So if you go to Yankee Candle website and put it in there and look for it, when I tell y'all that seasoning is the truth. Listen, if you don't know how to put things together, it sure will make it. So that chicken, that tree over there talking about, put a little bit on that chicken and put it in that air fryer. Man, you might get double dessert. What? Have straight diabetes. Okay?
Straight to the heart.
Get all the cavities you want.
But what are some of your favorite meals that you like to make? And then the last thing we'll talk about is some quick and easy meals that maybe people can make for either for the holidays or just a quick, like, hey, I'm hungry and I want to throw something together real quick. Something that's simple, not too difficult, that even a beginner could make.
Okay. Let's see. Initially, my first meals, the meals I really like to make usually start with a marinade of some sort. I like to make barbecue or beef, Korean barbecue ribs, and they're just a different type of cut of rib. But you guys, you get that bulgogi sauce. Y'all culture. You get that bulgogi sauce, and you put a little 8-ounce of Coke in there in the bag with it. Seal it up real good, put it in the refrigerator. Halfway through the night, just flip the bag over, so because you don't want one side. Listen, and
that sounds good.
You put that on the grill. The caramel from the Coke caramelizes within the meat, and so you have this wonderful you put it on the grill. Listen now, it's amazing. It's like I love that's my favorite thing. I don't make it very often, but that is my favorite thing to have. Like that makes me happy. That makes my
so silly. Your mouth jumping.
That gives you one of those when you singing and eating, humming and eating that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like those, and I like to do my teriyaki chicken, and it's really easy it's really simple to make your own teriyaki sauce. It's literally soy sauce and brown sugar. A little bit of vinegar if you want a little, break up the sugar, break up the sweet and salt.
No.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. Like a lot of stuff, and I like to put some garlic in there, give it a little flavor. But that's literally all it is. As far as simple meals, like what I mentioned before, with you put the chicken thighs, a can of cream of celery, cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. Boom, put that all together. My husband does it from frozen. Like he'll wash off them thighs. They'll be hard, just knock. They still hard. Put them right on in there. Put the stuff in there. Put the lid on, and like 30, 40, how long do you put it on there, honey? 30, 40 minutes. It's done. You just scoop that out with some vegetables. Put that on some rice, and you good. Listen,
and that's an Instapot.
That's it. Yes, Instapot. Like that's.
I'm telling y'all, that's a life changer. If you ain't got one, get one. What you waiting for?
I know. Listen, don't call it getting caught up in the hype. This is trying to save your life, especially with the air fryer that Tree had mentioned earlier. Listen, every year we do New Year's, we do seafood, either a crab boil. Last year we had lobster tails, and we put those in the air fryer. Now, I had butterflied those lobster tails, when you have to like crack the shell and bring it out, lay it on top, make it look cute. We have, at my grocery store here, we have these medallions that have butter, Parmesan cheese, garlic, and parsley already in them.
Yes, they be the bomb.
Season it a little bit, lay one of those beauties right on top of that.
Yes.
That's it. And I know y'all got the seafood button on your air fryer. Boop. Walk away, and it's good. It was so delicious. Like everything I cook, I put on my Instagram, ToyaDanni at the Instagrams. You guys just go. Like I don't just be talking. Like I really want y'all to see. I'm serious about this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we're gonna have her back on a live segment, cooking for the people.
Yes.
For the people, yes. Oh
yes.
gosh,
We are excited. But
I can't wait
yeah,
for
this
that.
has been a great session. We really appreciate you coming, giving us, the tips and tricks. Rinse your meat, okay, rinse your vegetables,
Wrench.
okay. No cross contamination.
Right.
And get an Instapot of some type. It ain't got to be the brand Instapot. Just get
Yeah.
you one. I'm
Right.
telling you,
Mhm.
life changing.
Mhm.
But like she said, you can find her on Instagram. Her food, everything is on Instagram, and she is getting ready to start that cooking with Toya D. I made that name up just in case y'all want to know. That might
Thank
not
you.
be the name of the
Thank you.
show,
You gonna get
but
the credit. Don't worry about it, Bird. You
that
got
might not be the name of the show. But that's the name of the show today until she changed the name of the show. But as soon as that is out and popping, I promise y'all we'll be the first ones to put the word out on the street. Check her out. She's also on Twitch. She's a gamer. So for all you gamers out there, check her out. She is in the mix. Listen, ToyaDanni, y'all, cooking with Toya D. So
Oh,
on my Bird in the Tree podcast, Toya, do you have any parting words before we get to Tree's words of wisdom?
what his words of wisdom. But yeah, I'm gonna just I want to say thank you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you guys for giving me and people like me and us a platform to express ourselves, express our likes, our do's and don'ts, how we feel about things. It's highly appreciated. We don't get that enough. A lot of people don't understand what it's like, but I appreciate it, and I thank you guys so much. And like I say on my out, keep it easy like some mac and cheese now. Hey.
And you already know what time it is real quick before we get up off this thing. Hey, look, fellas, y'all, hey, look, I already done gave y'all the platform what y'all need to get y'all girl. You know what I'm talking about? So look, this is the last little thing, last little piece of information. Now, you done did all that. You done had your dessert. Last thing that you want to do to make sure this thing is real or not, go ahead, go to the kitchen, pull out some potted meat and crackers. If that girl eat that food, that's the one you need to marry. If not, let it go. And we out.